victory. Dave Portnoy of Barstool's fame, in a video he shared on social media, explained how Democrats gave the American people no choice. Take a look.
A lot of people are asking, like, how did Trump get more votes than he got last time? Well, here's the answer. Because people like myself, independents or moderates, the Democrats gave us no choice. The Democrats gave us no choice. That was the worst campaign, and their pure arrogance and their moral superiority have driven people away. If you say you're voting for Trump, suddenly you're a Nazi, you're Hitler, you're garbage. Enough. Enough. Tonight is on the Democrats. Congratulations, Donald Trump. I voted for him. And I felt I had no choice but to vote for him for the campaign that the Democrats ran.
And you know what? He's right, Americans. So you're sick and tired of Democrats, their far-left policies. You know, take a look at Deep Blue California. Proposition 36, a ballot measure that will roll back some of California's soft on-crime policies, overwhelmingly passing in the state. And L.A. County District Attorney George Gascon, one of the most progressive DAs in the country, lost his re-election bid to an independent, Nathan Hochman. Here with reaction, Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy. Dave, good to see you. I'm sorry, apparently we have some audio issues. Thanks for being patient with us. Well, let's talk about what it was. I don't like being called a Nazi. I don't like being called a racist. I don't like being called a fascist. I'm not a piece of garbage, and I don't like people that are racist and fascist and Nazis. That was their closing argument?
Yeah, it's been nonstop. It was the deplorables before that. So it's a nonstop assault on your senses, and they're insulting, like I said, more than half the country. At some point, they got to learn their lessons, but that was their entire campaign, essentially.
It really was. And, you know, if you can't run on, especially if you've been in office 4 years, if you can't name a single thing that you did that made people's lives better, in my mind, you have no campaign, because you had 4 years to do it. And then she went the whole campaign not having to answer questions. That bothered me, too.
Yeah, and well, the craziest thing is her campaign was turn the page, start a new America, all this, trying to distance herself from Joe Biden, who obviously they basically threw a coup. But then when the most obvious questions of all time would be asked, the most predictable questions, how are you different than Joe? What would you have done differently? She couldn't get an answer to that. That's probably the biggest ringing indictment of the campaign. You know that question is coming. You know it's on people's mind. I don't know how they didn't sit around with the smartest people they got and be, hey, here's how you answer that question. She never was able to, and it probably cost her the campaign.
Yeah. And then, well, you know, you have this issue of gender-affirming care, California, Minnesota, without parental consent. What, parents don't have any rights at all? Or Tim Walz, you know, wanting to put feminine hygiene products in boys' bathrooms, fourth grade boys' bathrooms. Can you explain that to me? I don't get that. Help me out with that.
No, I mean, those issues to me personally, and everybody's their own, are less important than some of the major issues like crime, borders. I mean, I wouldn't do it. I'm not going to vote based on that issue. There's a lot of other more important issues to me, but those are the ones that forced me to go to Trump.
Yeah, but put it this way. I know you're not a parent, but and I was going to get to this. You certainly know we called him Tampon Tim, but you know, here you are, alpha male, tough guy, you know, all American as far as I can see, and then you got this soft side, and I watch all of your videos of Miss Peaches. And now we have a second dog that you've adopted, the Beagle. And,
yeah, Pete the Beagle.
All of a sudden, you're like the toughest guy in the world. And then it's like, when you're around your dog, Miss Peaches, I love you. And it seems so sincere. And you love this dog. And now you have another dog. And how much money did you raise for shelter dogs?
We've raised a little over $1 million so far for shelter dogs, and continuing. It's a cause, obviously, that's near and dear. I've always been a dog guy. So, yeah, I love doing it. I do love the dogs. And we raise a ton of money and help a lot of new Miss Peaches. So it's an important cause for me.
You know, but let me go back and let me conflate the two issues a little bit. Gender-affirming care. I don't really care what any adult does in their life. I believe in liberty. I believe in freedom. Fine with that. but gender-affirming treatment and care for minors without parental consent. I'm guessing if anyone goes near, you know, Pete the Beagle or Miss Peaches and wants to do anything without your consent as, you know, as the owner of that dog, you're going to go nuts. Am I wrong?
Yeah, that's why I wasn't expecting that analogy. But yes, I can confirm to you, if I find somebody trying to do something to one of my dogs without my consent and without their consent, you may have a murder on your hands.
People that don't know you, they're going to say, he's calling for murder, because liberals have no sense of humor.
If you touch my dogs, I'm going to kill you.
If you mess with my dog, you're done. Well, if you break into Kamala's house, she's going to pull out her Glock, but meanwhile, she wants gun confiscation and mandatory gun buybacks. Okay, I don't get it. You put the dog in a baby carriage, and you push the dog all over the place. And, you know, you do all these things with the dog. You spend all your time with this dog. And, I mean, I've never seen a better dog owner in my life. What happened? How did all that happen?
Well, I've always been a dog guy my whole life. So she's not a big walker. Like, she had a really bad past. She was used as a breeding dog and left basically in a dump for the most part. But her bones, I think, are really kind of beaten up a little bit. And she's also stubborn. So with that combination, with that face that she gives you, she says, hey, I push me around, stroll me around. I like the fresh air. That's my idea of exercise, you pushing me.
All right, how's it going with Pete the Beagle? That is now your second dog.
Yeah, they're best friends. They've bonded really quickly. It's like having kids. You're up early. It's all work, but I love them. So I'm very happy that they have each other.
All right, what's the future?
That on the day after the election, we're talking dogs.
Well, to be honest, I kind of need a little break. We've been going hot and heavy. Politics, and to talk about something as fun as, if people have not seen it, doesn't Miss Peaches have her own account? You've got to watch these videos,
like
and I think I do a pretty good
followers.
imitation. It's like this: Miss Peaches, little Peachy, come here, Peachy. Is that a pretty good imitation? Not too bad, right?
Yeah, that was very good. She's very famous.
Yeah, more famous than me. I agree. The most famous dog in America. All right, great job, too. You're raising a ton of money for a great cause.